You will not believe what they just did. The US Fed just announced an oversized 0.5% interest rate cut, marking its first reduction after more than 4 years, sharply lowering its borrowing costs right before its US presidential elections. There are many implications to our Singapore property market, and I'm going to give you three. Number one, increasing property demand, as we start to observe investors coming back into the buyer pool for Singapore property. So lower rates will signal a move away from safer investments such as T-bills, bonds, and fixed deposits. So one very good example is the Singapore Savings Bond. As you can see, the performance from 2015 to 2024. So back in December 2023, it was at a high of 3.4%. And right now, you can see it's 2.77%. So naturally, as these safer investments start to be less attractive, more of these investors will park their money into property instead. And this leads us to the second implication. So number two, cheaper borrowing costs. Naturally, with lower interest rates, that will also mean lower borrowing costs. So this will kickstart a whole new virtuous cycle, leading to more optimism into the real estate market. How does this work? So it goes two ways. Firstly, lower rates means you can borrow more, but pay much less for your monthly installments. And last but not least, higher prices and greater profits. So if you're looking to sell your place, the buyers who have been on the sidelines for so long waiting for interest rate to drop will finally come back. And not just that, they'll have potentially a higher borrowing limit and also potentially be willing to pay higher prices than they used to, because it means lower installments for them. So this will give you, the sellers, a flexibility of trying to push for a slightly higher price than you could have gotten in the last 6 to 12 months, potentially testing the record highs for your property. So a reduction in interest rates definitely signal a much positive news and optimism within the Singapore real estate market. However, what's more crucial is identifying the correct timing to enter again. Should we hold off for further reductions, or should we go ahead and enter right now? So if you take a look at this historical chart, comparing interest rate movements with property price index, you can see that as soon as interest rates started to drop, prices started to climb. So as interest rates begin to fall, buyers become increasingly confident that the prices will start to go up and naturally be optimistic and therefore start a new high. And this will lead to an increase in demand, potentially driving up their prices. So by the time the interest rate hits its lowest point, the property prices has already moved significantly upwards, causing you to miss your optimum entry point. So we may not be able to catch the wave at its lowest point, but our goal is to join the property cycle at the start of its upward trend. So if you're still not sure how these interest rates will impact you, hit me up. Happy to have a chat over coffee.